87% of cat owners make the same mistake. They try to raise a solitary predator using methods intended for social dogs or even humans. Today, we will break down science-based ways to say no to a cat in its own language, using the biomechanics of sounds and the psychology of replacement to save your sofa and your pet's mental health. But before we move on to the technique of prohibitions, here is a practical tip for those whose cat has taken to jumping on the kitchen table or stealing food. Never push the cat off the table with your hands if you want it to stop climbing up there in your absence. Research shows that physical contact with the owner, even negative, is often regarded by the cat as an element of play or social interaction. Instead, use a remote no. Place inverted sheets of foil or double-sided tape on the edge of the table. The sudden change in texture under the paws creates a negative association for the cat with the place itself, rather than with you, which is 5 times more effective than any shouting. However, the most powerful sound signal, which mimics the behavior of a mother cat, we will reveal in the middle of our list. Write right now in the comments. Which bad habit of your cat irritates you the most? Nighttime zoomies, damaging the wallpaper, or hunting for your feet? The first technique: hissing as a biological stop signal. The first and most natural way to say no is the imitation of an intraspecies warning. In the feline world, hissing is not a sign of aggression, but a signal of distancing and a warning about the violation of boundaries. According to data from the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery, this sound appeals to the limbic system of the brain, causing an instantaneous stop of the current action. When your cat does what is forbidden, for example, begins to chew wires or your hands, emit a sharp, short sound, shh, or kk. It is important to do this in the very same second when the action began. A cat does not understand the concept of the past. If you hiss a minute after it dropped a vase, it will decide that you have simply gone mad. A sharp exhale mimics the behavior of a mother cat or an older relative setting a boundary. This is a no that does not require translation and does not cause resentment in the animal, as it is written into its genetic code as a stop danger signal. The second technique: timeout and deprivation of social resource. The second technique is based on the understanding that for a domestic cat, your attention is the most valuable resource. Many owners make the mistake of beginning to run after a cat that has snatched something, turning the transgression into an exciting game of catch me. This is a direct reinforcement of undesirable behavior. An act of love and upbringing here is total ignoring. If the cat begins to bite during play, instantly stop any contact, stand up, and go into another room, closing the door for 2 to 3 minutes. Research shows that a sharp cutoff of social stimulation is the heaviest punishment for a cat. It quickly builds a logical chain. Aggression equals boredom and loneliness. This is a method of negative punishment, which is recognized as the most humane and effective in modern zoo psychology, as it does not frighten the animal but forces it to analyze the consequences of its actions. The third technique: the method of positive replacement. The third and most important strategy. You cannot simply say no, you must offer a yes. A cat never does something out of spite. Every destructive action has a biological background. If a cat claws the sofa, it is not trying to ruin the interior. It is marking territory and stretching its ligaments. An act of love is to provide an alternative. If you forbid clawing the armchair, saying no by hissing, you are obliged to immediately redirect it to a scratching post. As soon as the cat has switched to the correct object, instantly reward it with a treat or praise. According to the principles of operant conditioning, behavior that leads to a pleasant result is reinforced, while that which is ignored or suppressed fades away. Your task is not simply to forbid, but to be a manager of the environment, creating conditions in which it is profitable for the cat to behave correctly. By the way, if you want to build a relationship with your little tiger on a foundation of mutual respect and science, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We weekly dissect studies of the world's leading laboratories of ethology so that you understand the true motives of your pet. Click the bell so as not to miss our next video about how to teach a cat to come when called in 3 days. The fourth technique: management of space and the visual no. The fourth aspect is the use of the peculiarities of feline vision and smell to create exclusion zones. Cats are territorial animals, and they are extremely sensitive to certain smells and textures. Instead of shouting no every time the cat climbs into flower pots, use its natural squeamishness. Lay out citrus peels in forbidden places, or use special sprays with the scent of lemon or lavender. For a cat's nose, this is a powerful signal. It is unpleasant here. You can also use double-sided tape on surfaces that you want to protect. Cats hate sticky textures. This is a passive no that works 24 hours a day, even when you are not home. It does not spoil your relationship with the pet, as the negativity comes from the object, not from you. In the cat's consciousness, a conviction is formed. This cabinet is prickly and smells bad, and it makes the decision to bypass it of its own accord. The fifth technique, short commands and freezing. Finally, the fifth technique is the use of a specific tone of voice. Cats distinguish words poorly, but they phenomenally read intonations and overtones. Long phrases like "musia," well, how many times have I told you don't touch the curtains, are just white noise for its ears. Your no must be short, low in timbre, and sharp, like a click. Choose one word, for example, no or hey, and use only it. Accompany the sound with a freezing of the body and a direct look into the eyes for 1 to 2 seconds. In the world of predators, a direct frozen look is a signal of a serious warning. As soon as the cat has stopped the action, avert your gaze and relax. This will show it that the incident is exhausted. Remember, your goal is not to frighten, but to inform about a change in the rules of the game. Remember that raising a cat is not training for obedience, but the tuning of coexistence. A cat respects the power of calmness, not the power of aggression. Your consistency and understanding of its biology is the only path to your no being heard and accepted without resentment. Write in the comments, which of these methods worked with your cat best of all? Or perhaps you have your own secret sound that instantly stops the furry mischief maker? Take care of your little hunters, respect their nature, and approach upbringing with a cold mind and love. See you in the next video.